Did you know that King Solomon was considered the wisest man of all time? His advice has transcended centuries and continues to transform lives to this day. In this video, you will discover the 7 most powerful pieces of advice from Solomon that can change the way you live. 1. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. In his unparalleled wisdom, Solomon teaches us that the foundation of all true understanding in life starts with an attitude of reverence toward God. In Proverbs 9:10 he says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding." But what does this fear mean? It's not a paralyzing fear, but a deep respect, a constant awareness of God's presence in all areas of life. Having this mindset means making decisions based on eternal values, not fleeting impulses. We live in a world where decisions are often made quickly, based on momentary trends and unstable emotions. Solomon, however, invites us to take a different approach. Before making any choice, we should seek God's guidance. It's this connection with Him that gives us the discernment to distinguish between right and wrong, between what seems good and what is truly beneficial. When we place God at the center, our choices become wiser and more balanced. Many people try to find wisdom in self-help books, expert advice, and even on social media. However, Solomon reminds us that true wisdom does not come from the world, but from a genuine relationship with God. He knew that wealth, fame, and human knowledge are limited, but the understanding that comes from the Lord is eternal and unshakable. This wisdom guides us securely, even in the uncertainties of life. Fearing the Lord also means recognizing that we don't have all the answers and that we need Him to guide us. This humility makes us more receptive to learning and helps us avoid mistakes that could be costly. Often, we encounter situations that seem good to our eyes, but by seeking God's direction, we realize that not everything that glitters is gold. Another important aspect is that this fear teaches us to live with integrity. When we respect divine principles, we make decisions that reflect justice, honesty, and love for others. This makes us trustworthy, secure, and consistent in our actions, reflecting God's character in our daily lives. Applying this advice in practical life means seeking God in prayer before making important decisions. Whether it's a career change, a relationship, or even financial choices, divine guidance is essential to avoid unnecessary mistakes and ensure a safe path. The Bible is a reliable guide that directs us and offers clarity when we are confused or in doubt. And do you know what's most interesting? When we put this principle into practice, we begin to notice how the right doors open, answers become clearer, and life gains a new sense. After all, true wisdom comes from above and guides each step securely. Small habits, such as meditating on the Word daily and seeking counsel from wise people, can strengthen our relationship with God and improve our ability to make good decisions. So if you want to live a life full of purpose and make wise choices, remember, it all starts with a sincere relationship with God. That's the secret to true wisdom. And the best part, this wisdom is available to all those who seek with a sincere heart. 2. Be prudent with your words. Words have immeasurable power. Solomon, in his wisdom, left us valuable advice about the importance of controlling what we say. In Proverbs 21:23, he states, "Whoever keeps their mouth and their tongue keeps themselves from troubles." This verse reminds us that our words can be a source of life or destruction, and the way we use them can directly affect our destiny. Controlling what we say is one of the greatest demonstrations of wisdom and self-control we can develop. Often we speak hastily without thinking, and this can cause irreparable damage. Thoughtless words can destroy relationships, ruin reputations, and even put us in difficult situations. Solomon understood that an uncontrolled tongue can bring bitter consequences, so he advises us to be prudent in speech. Those who carefully choose their words avoid unnecessary conflicts and build a more harmonious life. Conscious communication is an essential skill for those who wish to live in peace. Listening before responding, considering the impact of words, and avoiding impulsive conversations are practices that can make all the difference in our daily lives. Prudence in speech does not mean omission, but wisdom to speak at the right moment and in the right way. After all, not everything needs to be said, and not every truth should be exposed without discernment. Technology has also brought challenges to communication. Today, with instant messages and social media, words can be spread in seconds, reaching thousands of people. A poorly placed sentence can have a huge impact, so it is essential to apply Solomon's principles by reflecting before sending a message, making a comment, or reacting impulsively to something that bothers us. Another important aspect of this advice is that prudence in speech protects not only others, but also ourselves. Those who speak too much or hastily often reveal unnecessary information, becoming vulnerable to judgment and even traps. Discretion is a powerful ally for those who wish to preserve their peace and avoid future problems. Controlling the tongue also has a direct impact on emotional health. Many people live in anguish after saying something thoughtlessly, facing the consequences of words spoken in the heat of the moment. On the other hand, those who learn to speak wisely reap the rewards of healthy relationships and mutual respect. Furthermore, prudent words have the power to build, motivate, and encourage those around us. A sincere compliment, a word of support, or a message of hope can transform someone's day. Small verbal gestures, when well applied, can strengthen bonds and bring lightness to the environment we live in. The way we use our words reflects who we really are. Therefore, it's worth practicing reflection before speaking, seeking wisdom in how to communicate, and most importantly, remembering that silence in many moments is the best answer. Wisdom is not only knowing what to say, but also when and how to say it. 3. Hard work brings rewards. Diligent effort is a principle Solomon emphasizes repeatedly in his Proverbs. In Proverbs 14:23, he teaches us, "All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty." This advice reminds us that it's not enough to just dream or plan. We need action, dedication, and perseverance to achieve concrete results. True success doesn't come overnight, but is the fruit of constant and disciplined work. Modern society often promotes shortcuts and quick solutions for success, but Solomon warns us that true prosperity lies in consistency and continuous effort. Working hard doesn't just mean doing more, but doing so with purpose, strategy, and excellence. The quality of effort determines the fruits we reap throughout life. Another important point is that hard work is not just about financial survival, but also personal fulfillment. When we dedicate ourselves to something with commitment, we grow in skills, gain experience, and become better prepared to face challenges. The discipline of work shapes us, strengthening our character and preparing us for greater opportunities. Laziness, on the other hand, is a great enemy of progress. Solomon mentions several times in his Proverbs the dangers of a negligent life, stating that inertia can lead to ruin. Many people delay important tasks or procrastinate, waiting for the perfect moment. But the secret is to start, even with small steps. Constant progress is better than endless waiting. Moreover, hard work brings rewards not only materially but also emotionally. The feeling of accomplishment, the achievement of goals, and the contribution to something greater are sources of satisfaction and meaning. People who work with dedication experience a fuller life and feel valued for the impact they make on the world around them. Another point to highlight is that hard work, when combined with wisdom, can lead us to a healthy balance between effort and rest. Solomon didn't advocate for overwork to the point of exhaustion, but rather a responsible commitment that values both productivity and rest. Knowing how to balance these two aspects is essential for a productive and healthy life. The motivation to work diligently can come from different sources: the desire to provide for the family, the pursuit of personal growth, or the desire to serve God through our talents and abilities. When we understand that our effort can reflect our faith and commitment, work gains a new meaning. Therefore, putting your heart into what you do and acting with dedication and responsibility is the key to reaping good fruits. Working with commitment and excellence not only ensures a worthy life, but also opens doors for new opportunities and continuous growth. And when work is done with purpose, every effort, no matter how small, becomes part of a larger plan to achieve our dreams. 4. Trust in God with all your heart. Trust is one of the foundational pillars of wisdom taught by Solomon. In Proverbs 3:5-6, he advises us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." This verse teaches us that no matter how intelligent or experienced we are, our vision is limited, and trusting in God is essential to follow the right path. Often we try to control everything around us, seeking immediate answers and quick solutions. However, life is full of uncertainties, and we don't always understand what's happening. Solomon reminds us that true security lies in surrendering our plans and concerns to God, knowing that He has a greater purpose and knows what's best for us. Trusting in God with all your heart means letting go of the desire to have all the answers and learning to rest in His will. This type of trust requires faith, patience, and above all, humility to recognize that we are not in control. When we surrender our ways to the Lord, we find peace, even in the most difficult situations. It's common to face moments of doubt, where anxiety takes over and insecurity paralyzes us. In these moments, we are challenged to practice Solomon's teaching, remembering that God is faithful and has plans for good in our lives. Full trust in God allows us to walk without fear, even when the future seems uncertain. Another important aspect of this advice is that trusting in God doesn't mean passivity. Solomon doesn't teach us to wait with arms crossed, but to move forward with faith, making decisions based on divine guidance. This involves seeking God in prayer, studying His Word, and being sensitive to His voice in our daily lives. Many people trust only in their logic and experience, but Solomon warns us of the danger of relying solely on our own understanding. Life is complex and full of twists and turns, and what seems right today may not be the best tomorrow. True wisdom lies in recognizing our limitations and depending on divine guidance to make the best decisions. Trusting in God brings numerous benefits, such as inner peace, emotional security, and a clearer perspective on life. When we trust, we let go of the weight of fear and excessive worry, living in a lighter and more balanced way. This trust empowers us to face challenges with courage, knowing we are not alone. Each step of faith we take strengthens our relationship with God and helps us develop a more stable and directed life. Learning to trust Him in all areas, whether in relationships, career, or finances, leads us to a life of fullness and purpose. After all, when we place our trust in God, He guides us along paths we never imagined. 5. The importance of humility. Humility is one of the most precious virtues a person can cultivate. Solomon, in his wisdom, warns us in Proverbs 11:2, "When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with the humble is wisdom." This verse reveals a deep truth. Pride can lead to ruin, while humility opens doors for growth and continuous learning. Those who are humble are always willing to listen, learn, and evolve, while the proud close themselves off in their own arrogance. Modern society often values self-sufficiency and the desire to show power and status. But Solomon teaches us that true greatness lies in recognizing our limitations and learning from others. Humility makes us more approachable, empathetic, and open to new perspectives. Those who acknowledge their weaknesses strengthen themselves because they are always willing to correct their mistakes and grow from each experience. Being humble doesn't mean belittling oneself or having a negative view of oneself, but having a balanced perspective, knowing there is always room for improvement. Solomon shows us that humility is not weakness, but a great strength that allows us to gain respect, wisdom, and lasting success. Humble people are more respected and admired because they demonstrate authenticity and a solid character. Another important point is that humility teaches us to handle relationships better. When we act with humility, we avoid unnecessary conflicts, learn to listen more and speak less, and cultivate healthier bonds. Arrogance can drive people away, but humility brings us closer and strengthens relationships, both in our personal and professional lives. Humility also makes us more grateful. When we recognize that everything we have comes from God, we learn to value each achievement and not boast about it. Solomon understood that pride makes us lose sight of the true purpose of life, while humility keeps us focused on what really matters. Moreover, a humble person is always ready to serve others. Solomon teaches us that a true leader is not the one who imposes their will, but the one who serves and inspires by example. Pride can blind us, but humility allows us to see the needs around us and act with compassion and generosity. Another benefit of humility is that it protects us from painful falls. Often, pride leads people to take unnecessary risks or place themselves in complicated situations, while humility brings prudence and discernment. Solomon reminds us that humility precedes honor, meaning those who remain humble will be exalted at the right time. When we practice humility in our daily lives, we recognize that there is always something new to learn, that no one is self-sufficient, and that life is a continuous process of growth. Learning to listen to advice, ask for help when necessary, and acknowledge our flaws are important steps toward a wiser and more balanced life. 6. Choose your friends wisely. The people with whom we choose to walk have a powerful influence over our lives. Solomon, in his wisdom, warns us in Proverbs 13:20, "Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools suffers harm." This advice shows us that our friendships shape our decisions, attitudes, and even our future. The influences around us can either propel us toward growth or drag us down destructive paths. Healthy relationships are essential for a balanced and happy life. Often, people underestimate the impact that friendships can have on their character and daily choices. Solomon understood that being surrounded by wise, good character people helps us grow, while toxic friendships can pull us away from our purpose and put us in harmful situations. Choosing your friends wisely requires discernment and maturity. Not always do those who seem like good friends have the best intentions. Some people can influence us negatively without us realizing it, leading us to make impulsive decisions or adopt behaviors that go against our principles and values. It's important to be attentive and evaluate who truly adds something positive to our lives. Biblical wisdom teaches us that healthy relationships are built on solid foundations, such as trust, respect, and mutual edification. Having friends who encourage us to grow spiritually, professionally, and emotionally is a great blessing. On the other hand, friendships based on superficial interests or harmful behaviors can become an obstacle to our progress. Another important aspect of this teaching is the role we play in others' lives. Just as we are influenced, we also influence those around us. Being a good companion means encouraging, advising wisely, and being a positive example. Solomon reminds us that by choosing wise friendships, we also become better and more prepared to face life's challenges. The environment we live in directly impacts our thoughts and attitudes. When we're surrounded by people who share values similar to ours, it's easier to stay focused on what truly matters. True friendships challenge us to be better and help us stay strong, even in difficult times. Unfortunately, there are times when we need to distance ourselves from people who don't contribute positively to our lives. This doesn't mean disrespecting or judging them, but recognizing that certain relationships can prevent us from growing and following the path God has for us. Knowing when to say no to harmful friendships is a sign of maturity and wisdom. When we learn to choose who we walk with, we build a reliable support network that strengthens us and helps us make the right decisions. Cultivating friendships based on solid values and principles gives us security and motivation to move forward, knowing that we have people by our side who truly wish us well. 7. A cheerful heart brings life. Joy is one of the most important elements for a healthy and balanced life. Solomon, in his wisdom, teaches us in Proverbs 17:22, "A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones." This verse shows us that the way we approach life has a direct impact not only on our emotional well-being, but also on our physical and mental health. Cultivating a cheerful heart is a powerful remedy against the difficulties and challenges of everyday life. Modern science confirms what Solomon knew thousands of years ago. Joy and contentment are deeply linked to our health. Studies show that people who cultivate positive thoughts, gratitude, and a cheerful mindset tend to have fewer health problems and handle stress better. Prolonged sadness, on the other hand, can weaken the body and open the door to various illnesses. It's easy to lose joy amid life pressures, financial difficulties, family problems, and uncertainties about the future. However, Solomon teaches us that true joy doesn't depend on external circumstances, but on an inner perspective that recognizes daily blessings and trusts in God in all situations. Developing this mindset can completely transform the way we live. Another important aspect of this advice is the practice of gratitude. When we cultivate a grateful heart, we learn to value the small things in everyday life, finding reasons to smile even in the most difficult situations. Gratitude helps us focus on what we have that is good, rather than lamenting what we lack. Small gestures of acknowledgement can bring significant changes to our lives. Having a cheerful heart also impacts our relationships. Joyful people attract others and create a lighter, more harmonious environment around them. Joy is contagious and has the power to transform the mood of those around us, making our bonds stronger and healthier. Moreover, joy helps us see situations more clearly and make wiser decisions. However, it's important to remember that true joy is not the same as superficial or fleeting happiness. It comes from deep contentment, rooted in trust in God and the certainty that He cares for every detail of our lives. Seeking leisure moments, investing in healthy relationships, and taking care of our emotional health are crucial steps to keep this joy alive. Cultivating positive thoughts and spending time in activities that bring us pleasure and rest are also effective ways to maintain a cheerful heart. Reading good books, exercising, spending time with family and friends, and, most importantly, maintaining an active spiritual life are effective strategies to renew our strength and keep joy even in the face of difficulties. Joy is a daily choice. Deciding to face life with lightness, seeing opportunities amid challenges, and trusting that each situation has a purpose is an attitude that can transform not only our hearts, but our entire journey. When we choose joy, we face challenges with more hope and move forward with more determination. Solomon's advice continues to be extremely valuable today. His words have transcended centuries and still offer practical guidance for living with more wisdom, balance, and purpose. Which of these pieces of advice impacted you the most? Share in the comments. Your opinion is very important to us, and if this content made sense to you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you stay updated on all the upcoming posts. Also, share this video with your friends and family so that more people have access to these transformative teachings. Together, we can learn and grow even more with Solomon's wisdom.